Good morning to you. This is Kakaaki Social. I'm Obozeghie. Now, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Mbah, has formally reacted to the judgment of the Supreme Court on the 2023 election. He described it as a show of unreasonable force and said that the decision contradicts evidence of rigging that was presented before the Apex Court. Just like Atiku, who says he's not going anywhere, Obi seems to be warming up for 2027 election too, as he says this is not the end of my journey, but in fact the beginning, asking his supporters to remain with the vision and mission of a new Nigeria. Journalists also made him answer questions on the supplementary budget.
With great dismay that I observed that the court's decision contradicts the overwhelming evidence of election rigging, false claim of technical glitch, substantial non-compliance to the rules set by INEC itself, as well as matters of perjury, identity theft, and forgery that has been brought to light in course of this election matter. These are hefty allegations that should not have been treated with levity. But we have a supplementary budget where we are mentioning issues of yachts, SUVs for First Lady's office, shows to the extent that its government is totally uncaring and we're in deep problem.
All right, that was Obi summary yesterday in Abuja in the World Press Conference. We saw that again yesterday. Now, in reaction, this user says, well spoken, please, this should be translated in other languages for our brothers and sisters in the North, West, East, and South. And also in reaction, Ramasa says Atiku that came second accepted the verdict of the Supreme Court. The only thing he said he would do is to appeal to God, a testament to his respect for the constitution of the land, unlike the loser in distant third who belligerent attitude disrespect. Oh, well, for Uche, he says Atiku was nice to them. I like how Peter Mbah told them the truth, saying that people have lost faith in them. He also said all the institutions are broken. Tinubu successfully destroyed the judiciary. For Lesido, he says this must be daydreaming. He lost Woto and will lose again in 2027 and go and meet the judiciary he is bastardizing again. Sore and bitter loser. Oh, well, for Stephen, he says Peter or people that used Muslim ticket is accusing another person of using religion to campaign. What a joke. He was advised yesterday as a reaction to this. The presidency reacted just yesterday to that Obi, maybe if he will contest again, not to go about using ethnicity and all of that. So that was what the last reaction was about. Now, a federal high court in Abuja awarded 5 million naira in damages against NYSC for alleging that the scheme discharge certificate of Governor of Enugu State, that's Peter Mbah, is fake. Now, the trial judge, Justice Inyang Eku, in the judgment held that the Director General of NYSC and the Corps itself, who were defendants in the suit, were guilty of misrepresentation of material facts as the certificate presented to INEC by Mbah was authentic and validly issued by the NYSC. Peter Mbah, if you may be forgotten, sued NYSC and its director, Corps Certification, Ibrahim Muhammad, for publishing a disclaimer denying the issuance of a discharge certificate that was issued to him on January 6, 2003. So summarily, the thing is, Mbah says the NYSC certificate he has is from NYSC. NYSC says that's not correct, but the court is saying that NYSC, you're not sure of yourself. The certificate with Peter Mbah is from you. So that is it. Let's see how this net is. Undukwe says a judge faults the NYSC for not producing before the court 2 files containing information about Mbah's participation in the program. How can NYSC produce what they don't have on Mbah? This is ridiculous. Justice is for sale now. It's mind-boggling, to be honest, shameful to fear. This citizen, Federal Republic of Nigeria, says, wow, so judges can now restrain an institution from denying what it did not do. In simple terms, whenever NYSC is asked whether it issued the certificate or not, NYSC can only say yes or remain silent. The man's NYSC certificate can now be said to be court-based. Oh, well, more reactions coming in from Udafi, who says Nigerian judges are now telling us many things. Does this judgment imply that our institutions have lost the right of verification of their certificate? I think it's better for our schools to stop awarding certificates. And also in reaction to this, Okonkwo says, if Tinubu has the interest of this country at heart, he should do something to pull her out of the trajectory it is headed. The type of judgment coming up from Nigerian judiciary should worry any well-meaning Nigerian. If nothing is done, the consequences could be fatal. An appeal call made to the president right there to intervene in what is happening in the judiciary, and hopefully he does. Now, still with the court, the FCT High Court has again ordered EFCC to produce former governor of the Central Bank, CBN, that's Godwin Emefiele, in court on Wednesday, November 8, which is tomorrow. And this follows the failure of the anti-graft agency to produce him in court on Monday yesterday. Now, Justice Olukayode Adeniyi had on November 2nd ordered the agency to release the former CBN governor unconditionally or produce him in court for hearing of his motion on fundamental right enforcement. Now, the order was flouted deliberately by EFCC, as Emefiele's lawyer would want to put it. And now Justice Adeniyi is reinstating the same orders of the court that the EFCC either releases Emefiele unconditionally or, in the alternative, produce him in court on the next adjourned date to be admitted to bail. Emefiele and the court again yesterday. People were actually saying that Emefiele also flouted court orders, so it shouldn't be a debate. But what is wrong, regardless of who and when it is coming. So this trended again yesterday. Let's see how you reacted on the space of social media. For this user, he says, please leave this guy with EFCC. The guy here is referring to Emefiele. And he says, leave him with EFCC and DSS. We haven't recovered from buying Naira with Naira. Many lost loved ones, many opportunities lost during Emefiele's madness. Let him recover fully from EFCC captive before we decide his case. Oshe, I wish you had a case. Savannah says Emefiele went to dine with the devil but forgot to bring along a very long spoon. APCs, I mean, this user thought to write APC like this, and then I think it just rhymes, but APCs use do sacrifice. All the while he was with them, he thought he was one of them. He didn't know he was a sacrificial goat. Oh, well. Also in reaction, Olamilekon says they are just stressing the poor man. They have nothing against him. People are also of this opinion. And Peter Obi loyally says, interesting, will EFCC obey court orders? This is another test to say what will be the state of the order right now. Will it be obeyed? So tomorrow we'll definitely tell. If we see Emefiele in court, it means that the order was obeyed. But if we meet his absence, it means it remains what it is. And to our final story, the Nigeria Police Force has been called out for aiding breakdown of Lagos traffic rules by Grammy Award-winning singer Burna Boy. In the viral video that has resurfaced, Burna Boy was seen making a left turn in his Rolls Royce onto a road with a green and white one-way sign at the direction of his police escort. Now, he wasn't also spared, as fans of his songs highlighted the apparent hypocrisy, pointing out that he's failing to live up to the ideals he addresses in his songs that critique inadequate governance and oppression. All right, let's have some reactions to this before we call it a day. Femi says, police is supervising the breakdown of law by Burna Boy, passing one way. This is the same offense they are arraigned for. When you are in government, good book. You can break all the laws in Nigeria. The moment they don't like you, everything you do becomes a crime. His opinion right there. Port Harcourt first son, he says, all of you should rest. The person here to be blamed is the police, not Burna Boy. If they had not followed one way, Burna Boy wouldn't have followed. They are the security and they're responsible for the movement, not Burna Boy. And finally, this user, Stacking, simply thinks that rules are meant for the poor. Is this correct? Well, let's see. So that's how we call it a day today on Kakaaki Social. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I'll see you again tomorrow. Good morning, Adora and Nkoli.
Good morning, Rena. We really would love to talk, but we're really out of time. So
I see.
We take a bow.
Thank you.
All right. Do have a great day.
You too.
We'll take a quick break and come back with our second conversation.
By